Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. You can put your own airbag inside. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this. This is the Tata Sierra. Yes, the OG, the original. This is a 2000 model. The car was actually launched around 1993 and was discontinued in 2001. And you can see the design still looks fantastic even today. Let's straight away open the engine bay. I had actually practiced this. I never do that. But oh yeah, I got it right this time. That is the engine bay. A new battery which is quite big as such. And here you can see the fuse box actually. There you can see the engine is so freaking noisy. Looks different from latest engines and there is no insulation there. Okay, it says Tata Engineering. That time it was not Tata Motors. The design is boxy, might remind you of some Mercedes cars from that time actually, the W124. And Tata actually collaborated with Mercedes to make the W124 in India. So maybe they actually copied the design here or there. No front parking sensors, no front camera, none of that is needed in this vehicle. The lights are square, okay, they're not even clear lens. The grille is like Chintu Mintu, not as big as the grills we see today of course. And the Tata logo, as good as ever. Some screws are missing here and there. The car might not be in the best of conditions, but trust me, it has humongous road presence. Just look at it, it looks so fantastic. If Tata Motors launches this car today with a good powertrain and features, it will definitely sell in good numbers. They should actually bring this out to compete with the Mahindra Thar. I think alloy wheels were not standard. However, the tire size seems to be similar to 575/15 of course. Flared wheel arches, says turbo right there, and the mirrors are not internally adjustable. So this happens to be the 3-door. And the Sierra is actually sharing a lot of its bits with the Tata Estate, which actually shared a lot of its bits with some pickup truck from Tata Motors, which we'll come to in a bit. Now some things are actually missing in this car, like the spare wheel and the wipers. And this car actually got 2 freaking rear wipers. Yeah, that's right, 2 freaking rear wipers. Who does that? Well, Tata Motors does it. Lights are like kind of plain and basic. Well, there are 2 of them. Okay, one might be the reflector, some of them here, some of them there. Anyways, you can see the exposed bulbs and the exhaust is real AF. Look at that exhaust. Oh my god, the car actually looks super duper awesome. I'm quite impressed by the design, and the space is absolutely mind-blowing because the boot is actually big enough. Look at that, the boot is actually quite big as such, and adjustable headrest as well, so no cost cutting there. This is where the jack is, and if you want to sit there you can open it from the inside as well, but yeah, it's not going to be the safest as such. Car feels very robust, gets these roof rails as well. And then when you get inside, you realize, my goodness, there is so much space on offer. First and foremost, there are no door pockets. The car didn't need them because there was a glove box here, which is kind of Chintu Mintu. These speakers are obviously aftermarket. And how to get into the rear? Very easy. You just press this and then you can slide it forward. Yeah. And that seat is like a freaking sofa. My goodness, there's so much space on offer. Well, easy to climb in, and there is an armrest here. Oh, I can actually say that this car has as much space as a Mercedes S-Class. That's the level of space on offer, but obviously you can't sit like that. You have to put the seat back. But still, look at the amount of space. Legroom and kneeroom is absolutely obnoxious. Under dashboard is also fantastic. Headroom is also decent, but it feels so airy because of this glass area. Now, this glass did not open, which was a bit of an issue in those times because people kind of felt claustrophobic, and obviously because there's a hot climate where we stay in, heat used to come from the windows. This big fat window, that's why people used to put curtains and try to put tinted glass, and Tata couldn't really put much tinted because obviously it's not allowed. And here no height adjustable seat belt, but what a freaking comfortable car. I am totally baffled. A center armrest would be a nice addition for sure, but this is absolute crazy amount of space. This is super duper awesome. Dashboard design is okay, decent, not that great. Again, will remind you of Mercedes cars, especially the steering wheel. Now, how do I get out from here? Now, that is an issue. They did not think that a person should press a lever and get out. So, yeah, that's something they could have thought about. I'm just going to pull this lever and then I'm just going to push it forward and then we're going to get out. Yeah, doors open wide, okay? Yeah, as wide as the Tata Hydras. Meanwhile, we're just going to put this back into place. I'm going to push this back. Quite impressed by the space. My goodness, Tata Motors, you did a fab job, and the key goes here as well. So both the sides you can put the key to open the car if you so wish. Design is so freaking amazing. I never thought that the Sierra would look so good in person. I've seen it on and off, but first time I'm seeing it with so much attention and I'm really happy. Meanwhile, there is no dead pedal. It says turbocharged engine, run engine at low idle speed for at least 1 minute after starting and also before stopping. Well, That's cumbersome. Okay, no door pockets. Now this car had some 3-4 revolutionary features which no car of its time had. First and foremost, it had it had power windows, only front power windows because obviously rear windows don't open. You can see some exposed wiring bits. This is actually for the rear defogger. Obviously the wiper is missing right now, but this is the key of the car. No keyless entry, none of that. Now listen to this. Okay, when I shut the door, shuts with a proper thud, all metal as such. Now this was also the first car to get air conditioning as standard. It was also the first car to get height adjustable steering wheel. There you can see, I just press this button and there it goes up. Yeah, the steering wheel was actually adjustable. In those times, it was a revolutionary feature. No auto dimming mirror, obviously none of that happened. Visor was there, it's fallen off. There's a handle to hold on to, and there is a music system which is obviously aftermarket. There's a clock here, and there are a lot of buttons in this car, half of which I don't even understand what they do. There's some storage space here. There's an ashtray, 12-volt charging socket probably. Nice gear lever. Power window controls are here, and the power windows work really nicely, but a bit slow, I would say. And you get a handbrake, which is not that easy to operate. Meanwhile, another revolutionary feature was a tachometer. This got a tachometer which other cars did not get at that time. There are 3 sort of pods here. So this is actually for the fuel meter, this is for the temperature meter, speedometer with an odometer and trip meter, and a tachometer as well. So as I see it, basic car, lot of features for that time, and in fact they also told you how to shift the gears because reverse happens to be somewhere there, I believe. Any which ways, let's start driving right away. Alright, let's turn it on. Rose to life. Let's put the windows up. Power window controls in the center, of course. Takes its own sweet time. Reverse is actually like a dog leg. Anyways, into first gear, and you have to really rev the motor. First and foremost, the problem is the throttle is really very hard here. So they launched it in 1993, I think, and it was on sale for I think 13 years. 91 में launch की थी, 2003-4 में discontinue हो गई. This is the first SUV of India. That's right, the very first SUV of India. The engine again came from Persia, like in the case of the Armada, the engine again came from Persia. So Tata and Mahindra go to the same people for engine all the time. That's kind of funny, you know, because when they made the 2.2 liter engine, which is there in both Mahindras as well as Tata cars, that was made in conjunction with AVL, and this one is from Persia. 2-liter engine earlier, which was naturally aspirated, produced 63 horsepower. Then they realized kuch power hai nahi, kuch karna padega. So they went, okay, gearbox doesn't slot into place only. So then they went and decided that we need a turbo. So they put a turbocharger along with an intercooler, resulting in power increasing from 63 horsepower to 90 horsepower. Actually, they did not realize that it doesn't have power. They realized that they have to comply with emission norms, Euro 2 emission norms. So 63 horsepower to 90 horsepower. This produces 90 horsepower at 4,300 RPM. And the result is that first and foremost, it's a very refined engine. It's very smooth somehow. Gearbox is kind of slick shifting, but the clutch is extremely heavy, like really extremely heavy clutch in this car. You can see performance is not there actually because it weighs 1600 kgs. It also had a 4-wheel drive version as an option. This is rear wheel drive, of course. Ride is actually very sorted. It's kind of on the smooth side. Only thing is there are a lot of rattles inside this car at the moment, and the steering has no feel or feedback. You can see it is super duper vague as well. What a vague steering wheel, Tata. What have you done? The horn is actually nice and loud, and now because the car is kind of wide, how do we actually remove it? I don't know why this guy always parks in the center of the road, and now he's become my parking sensors by telling me, हाँ बेटा निकल जाएगी गाड़ी, अरे भाई कुछ है वहाँ पे पत्थर. There I stalled it. So he also realized the car will not go. Okay, we are going to turn it on. Thank you so much for moving. And yeah, fan belt noise in plenty, and off we go. Motor revs to almost 4,000 RPM, which means that it has decent performance, but the problem is it doesn't have any top end. It doesn't have to have any top end as such. It's a diesel, of course, and that's the reason why fuel efficiency was also quite nice. 12 to 14 kilometers per liter, not bad at all. They also had a limited edition petrol version which was launched, but it did nothing to increase the sales of the Tata Sierra, because by then people realized that this is not a practical car. And then Tata decided to get the Safari, and their focus was on the Safari, and then disband the Safari, of course. Oh, come on. Performance is so good. I'm so surprised by the way it's able to pull so nicely and strongly, and then the brakes little soggy but do the job for sure. I mean, you stop at the end of the day. Okay, into first gear and revving the motor, 5,000 RPM, little bit of wheel spin, and off we go. So 186 Newton meters of torque at 2500 RPM with a turbocharger, top speed increased by around 30 kilometers per hour, I think to almost 130, 140 kilometers, which again seemed epic. Now this is underpinned by the X2 platform, which also spawned the Safari, of course. And you know what? This actually came from the Tata Telco line. So Tata Telco line in its second generation is actually known as the Xenon. So the successor of the Sierra is still on sale right now. That's nice. Handling is decent, it's not that great. Obviously there's a ton of body roll and a lot of rattles, and then when you come on such roads you can realize that the suspension is kind of worn out. Earlier the suspension was good when it was new, of course, and then with time the suspension worn off so bad that there was a lot of rattles which can be felt inside this cabin. The wipers, let's try to use them. Oh my god, they work at a very slow speed indeed, but yeah, I think they get the job done for sure. I'm enjoying driving this car because of the road presence. The cabin is so wide because this is obviously coming from a truck, and a truck is obviously wide enough. So yeah, impressive, fun, and something which came way before its time. If it had come later, now trust me, would have killed a lot of other cars. You know what? Tata Motors actually even exported this car. I am not kidding. We're going to take a U-turn from here. Turning radius is nice because power steering is there, which is very helpful. It's a big boon as well. And now we have to get into reverse, which is a task. No, it's not, because I've already slotted it into first gear. So where is the reverse right now? Oh my god, it shows the wrong way. Here's the wrong signal. I think that's a sticker from I don't know where. And parking sensors are not there in this car, but I think I have parking sensors in me, so I'm going to use them. Yeah, that's it. I hit air, of course. So very easy to maneuver. That's kind of surprising to me. It was actually exported as a Tata Gurkha, and dealers there used to sell it by telling that this car is cheaper new than a used Land Rover. Interesting, isn't that? Steering is obnoxiously big, doesn't have much feel or feedback at higher speeds. But good news is that it's such an easy car to drive. Looking at the dimensions, like, this will be big. And this platform spawned so many cars. Iski behan ka naam kya hai pata? Tata Estate. And unfortunately, Estates were not popular in India. But that was also a fantastic car. Tata launched so many cars in the 90s. Everything way before its time, unfortunately. Had they timed it well, trust me, this car would have sold in real good numbers, because the appeal is stellar. Specifically, this three-door concept with the rear windows, something unseen, unheard. Now, it obviously has air conditioning, which tried to counter the heat inside, but you know, the engine was not powerful enough to take care of the air conditioning, unfortunately. Into first gear, revving the motor. Optimistically, it revs all the way to 4,500 RPM. It actually really does rev to 4,500 RPM. So that's a big boon. Now this car was actually designed in India, and it is the first non-commercial diesel car as well of India. And then rather you can say SUV, because the first non-commercial diesel car of India became the Tata Indica, but the Indica became very commercial. It was used by taxi operators, so I don't really understand where I'm going with all these facts. So guys, this is my vlog of the Tata Sierra, a car which has a soul. It's old right now, it is quite beaten as well, and you can't find a example in good condition either. However, when Tata brings back the Sierra, it is sure going to sell in good numbers, because this concept was, I think, 20 years too soon. This is a 2000 car, 21 years old, still drives quite well. The engine is so nice and smooth. It doesn't have power, but it gets the job done. And I don't know why the steering comes out from here. Oh my god, the steering actually comes out from here. Look at this unique feature. You can put your own airbag inside. That is something which I've discovered right now. And then you can put it back, and then you can press the horn as well. Which car has this feature? That's why this car was full of firsts. And on that discovery, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button. And also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.